What's going on, guys? We're over on the test server. We're going to take a look at Donatello. Should you go for him or should you skip him? You definitely should go for him. He's a limited time champion. He has a quite unique kit. Nobody else has these abilities. And he pairs with Leonardo, one of the best turtles, very well. So I would say if you're on the fence, just go for him. Even if you're watching this video a little bit late, you miss some events, it's okay. It's a fragment event. If you're not a free-to-play player, you can actually purchase some fragments at the very end. They typically offer them as long as you have 50 or more fragments. Now, it's a little bit expensive, but that should be available. Now, what I'm talking about him being unique in his kit is this A2 ability specifically. At first, I was thinking, okay, Renegade has this. It's not super exciting. However, looking at it a bit more, I think he's actually the only champion who has this. So it's an AoE attack. It decreases the cooldown of all ally skills except this champion's by 2 turns. This skill's cooldown cannot be decreased by other cooldown decreasing effects, which do include Merciless proc. So Merciless does nothing for this A2 ability, and I'll show you guys that in just a moment. But as far as I'm aware, outside of the increased speed, it's also there too, but as far as I'm aware, there's no other champion in the game who does a 2-turn cooldown reduction on a 4-turn duration. 4-turn cooldown themselves. So if we look at Crixia, for example, her cooldown reduction is a 3-turn on a 5-turn duration. We have Yumiko, who I believe is also a 3-turn on a 5-turn duration. We have Renegade, who of course is a 2-turn reduction on I think like a 5-turn duration there as well. We have Emic, who's a 1-turn cooldown reduction on a 3-turn cooldown, which is pretty awesome. We have Painkeeper, whose is a 1-turn reduction on a 4-turn cooldown. So right now, Donatello is the only champion who has this ability. If you're looking at champions like, let's think about this who you could use. Seer, it's not going to be a perfect reset for the waves, but it'd be pretty decent. Hers is a 4-turn, so you're reducing it by 2, so you still have to take 1 or 2 turns to get back around to your skills, but this is going to be a great thing. Matter of fact, let's actually jump into some Doom Tower real quick and see how this would work. So, if you had Donatello and you had Seer, you have Seer thrown in here. Sometimes cooldown stuff is a little bit weird. Let's go for A3 here. We'll have Seer nuke. She doesn't kill him. We do this. Boom. She has to take 1 or 2 more turns. I'm not for sure which one. She has to take 1 more turn, and then she can nuke again. So yeah, you have to do a little bit more, but that's still not too bad. It's the same thing as Renegade. However, he's also bringing a cleanse, continuous heal, strengthen, turn meter boost, a very strong passive. But before we get into the theory crafting and the teams, I got some testing in Chimera I did. I want to show you real quick that unfortunately Merciless does not affect this A2 ability. It says it in the description, but Plarium's descriptions sometimes are kind of inaccurate. So we'll go A2. My Donatello is in Merciless plus Relentless, so he should proc some extra turns. Merciless only does a cooldown reduction when you deal damage. So we're just going to spam the A1 over and over. No cooldown reduction right here. No cooldown reduction, extra turn. We'll use A2. No cooldown reduction, no cooldown reduction, no cooldown reduction. Just not happening. It's because it cannot be reduced. For example, you can see here if I go A3, we go A1. We'll do A1 again in just a minute. I can almost guarantee we'll get a cooldown reduction. Okay, well, not just yet. We got to wait till get back around to that apparently. Because there is RNG involved, of course. But let's see. Cooldown reduction right there. Took 3 times. It's a 30% chance. That makes sense. We do the A2, however, and you're never going to see it. I've done it like 20 times already. So I either have the worst possible RNG, or it in fact lines up to what it actually says on the skill. So that brings you to the point of, well, how are you going to build this champion? I still like Merciless plus Relentless because his A3 ability, the turn meter boost, is very strong. The cleanse on all allies, continuous heal and strengthen is very good. And the Relentless gets you back around to this A2 ability more frequently. Now, if you're going to use them in clan boss teams or something, this A2 ability, very strong. Eventually, there may be some clan boss tunes coming out working with this. A 2-turn reduction on a 4-turn cooldown is something that's not been seen before. This could be very powerful. Even just turning off this A3 ability, only using these 2 abilities, that could be awesome. And then his passive is going to stop a champion from receiving a fatal hit and then equalizing their HP based on the average of everybody else. You'll see that in Chimera in just a little while, which it performed very well there. Now for PvP, what I would be doing is not Relentless plus Merciless. I'd probably be going Relentless plus 4 pieces of Stone Skin. Stone Skin is OP in PvP, so I'd definitely like to lean on that. If you don't have Relentless plus Stone Skin, I would just be going Stone Skin, 4 piece, possibly 6 piece, going for a cleanse. He could be a great champion to go against enemy bombers. If you have him going pretty fast, he has good base speed at 108. So going against enemy enemy Commodus. Cupidus is not going to place any bombs. If you're going against enemy Commodus, Nishak, things like that, you could have him in the team. As long as they don't strip you, well, then he's just going to cleanse those bombs when they're placed, as long as he's going pretty fast in the team order, which is pretty cool. Throw him in Feral. Feral plus 4 pieces of Stone Skin. Now he has block debuffs as well as Stone Skin. Throw a lightning cage on there so he's not getting stripped. And now you have a bomb cleanser, turn meter booster, go second type team. Some pretty cool stuff. Maybe, if I can find somebody like that in the arena, we'll give it a shot. Now, as far as Donatello in areas of the game, where's he going to shine? Clan Boss, specific speed tunes, he'll do good there. Arena, he's going to do good there. Any wave content that you're having trouble with, he will get you through it. Check this out. Let's go to Dragon Stage 10. We'll throw Michelangelo plus Donatello. Michelangelo's currently sitting in a build that's really not great. It's okay. We have 6-piece Merciless, a little bit of damage dealing stats, but check out how well these two survive. So you already saw Donatello's build. He's in Merciless plus Relentless. We use A3, A2. We have Michelangelo doing some pretty decent damage to the waves. Decreased defense gets spread. They're joining in on attacks with each other. These are free champions. This is going to clear and get to the boss. That means all you need in your team for Dragon 10 Hard is either something to make the waves a little bit faster or just a poison champion for when you get to the boss. Because these two are not going to be able to kill the boss. They just don't have enough stuff. They need some poisons. But if you're able to get through waves like this easily, that makes your raid journey so much more simple. I mean, think Doom Tower, think Dragon, think anywhere. You throw a support champion into Doom Tower, boom, now you get some Doom Tower wave clear stuff. You throw a, max HP champion in whatever else you're doing, now you're taking care of that area as well. Spider 10 Hard, they probably don't do anything that's really stand out there, but these areas is great. Throw a block debuff champion in there. These two get to the dragon in a minute, and now you just work down the dragon, you're going to be good. His healing is amazing, but even if Michelangelo got pretty low in HP, he would just stop his death and then boost him back up in HP. So it's a cheat death mechanic there as well whenever Donnie's in the team, which is pretty cool. Let's go take a look at Hydra real quick and go over some stuff there. I don't think he brings anything, unfortunately, to Hydra that's going to make him like a must-have champion. He does bring good survivability. He brings increased speed. He brings plenty of sustainability. So if you're really struggling on staying alive, he could be great. However, the issue arises in who are you going to have for increased speed? Well, you have Lydia. Lydia is an amazing champion for increased speed, plus bringing other debuffs. So Lydia usually fills that role in Hydra. So it's a little bit more difficult to get him in there without just overlapping the buffs. In this case, we're overlapping with Krisk a little bit anyways. This team has no revive champion. I'm not going to do a manual battle. We'll just do a quick battle and you get the idea. Basically, he's going to be bringing Michelangelo in for the attacks. Mikey's not the best damage dealer, but he'll be bringing him in. He'll be supporting the team. Let's see how long they actually last. Hopefully, they last until about 800 turns or so. Maybe until turn 1,000. Who knows? Okay, turn 1,000, 331 million damage on Nightmare. That's pretty cool. Donnie healed for 14 million damage. Everybody else's healing is coming from the leech that Michelangelo is placing anyways. So Donnie is healing for a ton of damage. Mikey is joining in quite a bit of attacks and actually doing some pretty good damage as well. Full auto team, Nightmare Hydra, not fully optimized. It's good. If you're having trouble surviving, Donnie's going to be great. But if you're having trouble with the Head of Torment, well, you may need a Veil champion. If you're having trouble with, having decreased speed and you can't fit it, well, maybe you need to put somebody else in there. It's really going to come down to your account and what you can fit. But what you can see here is the gear that I have on Donnie with no soul. He is fully booked, no relic. He's doing pretty good in Hydra. Now, if we go over to Chimera, check out what he can do here. This is not going to be a showcase of damage because he's not a damage dealer. But when we go into the Ram form, why did it just black out there? Okay, either way, it just blacked out for a second. But when we go into the Ram form, you're going to see him do something pretty interesting if it actually works. I'd seen the Ram hit him, and then he equalizes HP, and the Ram doesn't continue to hit him, so it actually prevented him from dying. But I paired him with Elva, and this team went full auto through all of Chimera. It didn't do one key. My Marius also, see, there we go. Look, see that Ram form hit him? He equalized HP, pulls himself back up, no problem. So check this out. He has continuous heals from himself as well as Elva. His A1 ability is activating those continuous heals anyways. You can see here, whenever he does the A1, instantly activates one, which is pretty sweet. So he does really well against the Ram, keeps all the HP up. With Elva, you don't have to have her. You could use a different champion. Maybe you have a Reviver who doesn't have great healing. Siphi comes to mind. Great champion for Chimera, but often struggles with keeping the champions in the team alive, I find. Now, this is good for the Ram form. Then let's go into the Lion form. Once again, keeping people alive very well here. If the Lion goes to hit again, goes to kill Marius, well, Marius is just going to be equalized with everybody else's HP anyways. See, Marius isn't doing very much damage. This team isn't necessarily optimal anyways. What was that? So the Lion hit, and I think we just got fully max HP'd again, right? Let's see. Okay. Not really sure what happened there, but we took 0 damage. Either way, that's pretty cool. I'm not really sure who took the damage there or if Donatello equalized it. But ultimately, let's skip this just a little bit. About to take a turn. Big hit there. We wouldn't have died, though. Donatello would have equalized that. It does have a little bit of a cooldown, though. So this ability has a 4-turn cooldown. So you do have to keep that in mind, that it's not just going to continually happen. So if you're going fast in Chimera, you should be fine. Now let's jump over to the Viper form. The Viper form is the most annoying form when it comes to full auto teams, but this worked out pretty well, actually. Where is Viper? Right here. So full auto team, this is usually pretty dangerous. I have tons of buffs all over my team. It was going kind of weird on the test server. It was getting a little bit bugged out and not switching forms, but here we go. Viper strips everything. Bad news. Just kidding. Elva cleanses. Donnie is about to put some more healing, more support, more turn meter boosting. The Viper hits us. Donnie will just stop the death anyways. So he brings great utility. For any team you're trying to keep alive, he brings fantastic utility for those areas. He's going to push you potentially in Hydra. He can get you through a lot of wave content. Any wave content you're struggling with, I believe he's going to work for. If you're pushing Clan Boss, he's not going to activate a Clan Boss team necessarily, like a unkillable or block damage, but he will help you tune some of those teams. So maybe you don't have some champions to make those work. Well, just throw them in there and they should work all right. Now, I don't think this is going to work out well, but let's see. Top Doom Tower floor, we're using Mikey plus Donatello. He's about to get killed, and then Donnie should just equalize his HP. Okay, well, he just killed himself because of a reflect damage. Feels bad, Mikey. You got a little bit too carried away there, buddy. Let's drop it down to, or up to, a different. Let's do 119. This will be fine. Not worry about clearing it. I just want to showcase some of the stuff without getting reflected damage and just wrecking myself. So she goes to hit me. Does a little bit of decent damage. Michelangelo just nuked everybody. Got a taunt. Revoke. Big heals for Mikey's just A1 ability. You already saw the gear on Mikey, though. It's not anything crazy. It's really not. He's doing more. Is this on normal or hard? Is this actually hard? There's no way. This has to be normal, right? Floor 119. No, it's hard, actually. We're just doing a lot of damage to those waves. The Rotos waves are going to kill us, of course, but if you're looking for wave control content, he'll be great for your team. Those two are free champions anyways. Now let's move over to Arena and take a little bit of a look over here. Now on the test server, it's going to be difficult to give you an idea of what can be done because the teams I'm going against are either very, very crazy or people forgot to change their builds and their teams and they're not that good. So my team earlier was just a 2-man defense. I feel bad because people were testing it and it was just Shuzin plus Siegfried, but we're going to try this out. So with the team for him, if I could find a bomber, that'd be pretty cool. But there is none. You could pretend, you could make believe a bomber here, but they're going to be fast and kind of mess me up anyways. This is not going to be a great showcase. I think he's very niche specific to showcase in the arena. and not just a easily slot him in, get a good showcase of him, because he's going to do a lot better than what you're probably about to see. He might do okay, but you do have to remember that when he cleanses, he's not placing block debuffs as well. He's just cleansing. So we'll cleanse everybody. Now he has no stone skin, so you could have, 6 turns or 2 turns, 6 piece of stone skin instead. That could be the play for you to make. So then you could cleanse and still be in stone skin. Definitely worth considering. Go ahead and hit with the A2. Proc Siegfried's passive. So now we have both of our skills now on cooldown. Let's try to get something. Petrification, beautiful. Continuous heals. Now let's go ahead and reset Embree's skills. Hit with the A2. Get some skills reset. Unfortunately, a fear came off. That's not right. We'll strip them, lock them out. Let's go A3 here. And then we hit again. Boom. Make him switch forms. And then we can actually use Fabian as long as he died. If he didn't die, we could have used him, but he did die, unfortunately. Okay. Well, we're getting the things are turning on us a little bit. It was going to be a pretty cool showcase for a minute there, but we could have used Fabian to go in for the A2 again. What the heck? Is he naked? Okay, he's missing a pair of boots. I was like, that is a crazy showcase if he was naked doing that much damage. Not fully, just mostly. So you kind of get an idea there what he can do if you have a pretty decent team around him. He can be used as that reset to let your team go again. Fabian, he works out very well with him. Let's give this one a shot. We have Fabian relatively fast. Everybody in stone skin, mostly except for Fabian. So if they get a turn before me, okay, it's not going to go great. They strip the stuff. Bad news. Obviously, this is not a team setup for go second necessarily. What's taken from him? Priority speed. Open this up. We'll take this right here. Quad roll helmet. That's pretty cool stuff. All right, let's try the same team again. Why not? Let's just give it another shot. See if we can get maybe another petrification off on these champs. Go for a lockout on everybody. Did not get in on the Marichka. It's okay. Not a huge deal over there. Okay. Donatello saved Fabian from being messed up. We'll go for the A2 ability. And then we'll take the extra turn here. Switch forms. And then we'll just go for this as well as this. And then Donnie is going to be able to reset my stuff anyways. Pop off the reset right now. We'll go ahead and now we reset and get an extra turn actually from the Relentless proc too. Turn meter boost. Pretty cool stuff. So now we can just strip everybody or petrify the nice. Petrification is huge versus nice. If only we could have landed that, I guess. If Donnie gets back around to his turns, I think 1 or 2 more times, then we'll be able to reset again. Oh, no. Use the passive and proc that. That's what I was trying to say. So here we'll just hit Marichka with the A1. Decent little chunk of damage there. A1. We do not have any of the Merciless stuff on Donnie right now. Now, okay, Donnie didn't have the thing off cooldown. The passive was not available yet, unfortunately. Not a huge deal. Let's go ahead and kill the Siegfried. Block revive on him. Proc something maybe. Nothing. Give a provoke to him. Very good stuff. Okay, Donnie's going down. Doesn't stop his own death apparently. And then from here, let's Embree's forgetting his name, messing it all up. We're gonna kind of pop off here. Things are getting a little bit crazy, but that's nice for you. But you get the idea. If Fabian would have petrified him, it would have been a different situation. There is some very interesting stuff with him to begin with. It's gonna be a minute before I can even kill him, I do believe. Let's see. Actually, maybe we'll kill him now. So, did Donatello let this be possible? I don't think so. But we did take care of the team, and Donatello did help out. But all right, guys, that is a little bit of a showcase for Donatello. I think his best use cases in the arena are going to be more on the live servers, countering bombs, keep protecting your champions, kind of like a Freya. Not quite a revive champion. Different than Freya in the sense that Freya lets your nukers take a turn, and it's a specific champion, versus Donatello is just the champion they're going after, which is pretty cool. And depending on your team order, will determine which champion gets that. So if you have 5 champions and the champion, everybody's about to die, it's going to save the champion highest in the team order. You can see that over here in Sand Devil, actually. Let's go to Sand Devil and see, okay, we're going to stage 25. We're going to put Donatello. Actually, this is going to be interesting. So we'll go Donatello plus all level 1s. And then see. Here, he should probably be protected. Well, he's in Stone Skin, so he's of course going to be protected. Just kidding, he's not in Stone Skin anymore. But he gets saved. So he's good. He's alive. No problem. Now, if we move him to the second spot, this time, the first champ should be the one that survives, right? Yes, so the first one survives. So it all depends on the team order. Not so much which order he is in, but the team order. So for Sand Devil, maybe you have a Duchess or something that you, or maybe you have a team revive champion who you typically couldn't get to survive here. Well, now you can just throw him in this team. She'll probably survive anyways because she's kind of crazy. But pretend that she died here. He's just going to protect her. So he protected her either way. She's alive. She just picks up the entire team. And now your Sand Devil team is still good to go. It's pretty awesome stuff. Matter of fact, other than Godseeker, there's not really anything that comparable. And the cool thing about him is he can actually go A3 into a turn meter, a cooldown reset after they take turns. So you could literally do a team like, let's see, we could go Rio plus Newt plus Marius. I don't know if these champions are built. Actually, I don't think my Newt is built. I think I literally took his gear and put it on the Marius earlier. But say we just go open with the A1 ability here. And then we have him do his A1. And then we have her just do an A1 as well. Kills everybody. Duchess goes in for a full res. Could be Rio. Could be countless other champions who place a bunch of debuffs as well. Turn meter boost. Go A2. This could be as easily done full auto, of course. We do that. We do this. Triple hitter. Boom. Then he just resets skills. Obviously, the Sand Devil dropped the debuffs off, so we kind of would rather the debuffs still be up there. We could have a sleep champion potentially, but with these champs, we should be able to get through that and still do enough damage, max HP to be okay. There's a lot of different potential options. Of course, Newt has a little bit longer cooldown, so it takes more to get back around. But a team like this would be no problem. Granted, if you have these champions, you're probably not having a huge amount of issues here anyways with Sand Devil. But with no Godseeker, Donatello actually makes for a very, very similar team. Now, you need a Reviver, but it's similar in a lot of ways. There we go. Minute 13 for Sand Devil. There's a lot of cool things with this. You could do some similar stuff, probably with Shogun. Just prevent the death. But all right, guys, thank you all very much for watching the video. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you think, and I'll catch you all in the next one.